Welcome to WagerTalk Today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. It's Thursday. We got a loaded show lined up. We got football, we got hoops, we got market insights. Joined by Dan, who's back after his Wednesday hiatus. Dan's going to walk us through who we got in today's lineup. Dan, who are we talking to today?
Yes, Andy, I missed you yesterday, buddy. Good to see you here. Yes, I know. The bromance is real here. But yeah, man, awesome Thursday show that we got for you. Obviously, Thursday night football tonight, big time matchup, major playoff implications in this Rams and Seahawks game. So Steve Merrill is going to give us a full breakdown of the game. Andy and I have some props for you. Of course, Andy's going all around the world before we're done. So when there's little lulls and you're saying, where the hell are our free picks? Trust me, you're getting an insane amount of free picks throughout the show here. We always lead the show off outside of Tuesday and Wednesdays with Yanni the Greek. He's going to break down what we're seeing, some steam coming up in college football bowl games, the college football playoffs, and with just one guest today, we're going to get a nice deep dive with Steve Merrill, 2 NBA free plays, Magic Nuggets, Warriors, Suns, all that and more, Andy. All that in a bag of tricks, as they once said, coming on the Thursday edition here of Wager Talk Today, buddy. I'm pumped.
I'm glad you said tricks. Yes. There was another word that rhymes with tricks that I was like, yes. Whoa, Dan.
You're like, please, no, this is the intro, Dan. Don't get us canceled in the intro. No, we at least save the cancelable stuff till the back end of the show, as you well know.
Absolutely. Let's bring in Yanni. And yeah, I'm going to give you fish.
Yanni's about to teach you how to fish. Get your notepad. Yanni's about to teach you how to fish. Come on.
Yanni, some really crazy matchups here to start bowl season. Last night, the Ragin' Cajuns were anything but raging. They were the sleeping Cajuns. I know that the over tripped a lot of people up. Before that, we had the Cam Cook, kind of just last second. I'm not going to play. What do we make of bowl season so far? I know it's only a couple games, but are the markets scared at all? Is there volatility? Is there movement? What are we doing?
No, you haven't seen heavy volume yet. That's going to start to pick up Friday. That's when you get Alabama playing. You start talking playoffs. People start to get more into that holiday. We're now just a week away. I think you're really going to start feeling it this weekend. Instead, it kind of felt like MAC games. That's how these bowl games felt, like those Tuesday MAC games during the regular season. Personally, I love bowl season. I think there's a ton of value. I'd said it from Thanksgiving, since Thanksgiving, coming into Thanksgiving week, that there is so much opportunity. And since we sat down and put it all together with Gianni, we're going to do a lot of damage. And since Thanksgiving, I actually just checked. I'm up 75 units, bro, over 10% ROI, 200 plus bets, close to 60%. And that's the opportunity that we're going to have over the next 6 weeks as well. Like my family knows, until the end of January, I'm just working. Like this is that time of year where there's just so much value on the board. If you're patient and you're not afraid to fire, like this morning, I had no idea I was going to get involved in this bowl game and the Thursday night game. But next thing you know, I got a side and total on the bowl game. I'm already involved on the Thursday night NFL game because, again, it's that time of the year where even the betting syndicates are getting involved in these marquee matchups because there's so much public money outweighing sharp money that the books are forced to adjust for this risk and towards that narrative, which we know is always, more or less an overreaction. So not sure what you want to go over first. Because I got a lot of stuff for you guys. Whatever you want to talk about, we're loaded for bear today.
All right, well, football is king, so let's start with the big-time game, the Thursday night NFL. What are we seeing there? And then let's segue into bowl season.
Well, you're looking at a coin flip type of game, and that's exactly what this line's telling you. We're going to let the market decide, and as long as we don't get middled, we should be able to sweep up the VIG. That's the book's approach to this game. They had Seattle was a 1-point favorite in the look ahead. Rams went to about a 1-point favorite early in the week. Now Seattle's back to a 1-point favorite. The flip of the favorite has nothing to do with wise guy money early in the week. It has all to do with the confirmation or unconfirmed injuries. Key for the Rams, obviously, Devontae Adams. He's touchdown leader in 2025. Not 100% for sure. Hamstring issues hasn't been ruled out. It will be a game time decision based on the betting line. I don't think he's going to play. Seattle, though, their left guard will be out also. So I think there was a little reaction to that midweek with the talk of Adams not being ruled out yet. So I think that's why you saw it sway towards the Rams, and now it's swaying back the other way. But it's a coin flip type of game, even power rating wise. You have the number 1 and number 2 teams in the NFL playing each other. And let me break this down for you. You have the Rams, top 5 offense, top 5 defense, with the 6th toughest schedule in the NFL. That's very impressive. That's why they are undoubtedly the number 1 power rated team. And on a neutral field, no one should be favored over the LA Rams. Now, they're playing Seattle, which is the number 2 power rated team as far as my power rating goes, who also has a top 5 offense, top 5 defense. Difference is strength of schedule. They have the 22nd most difficult strength of schedule. So only 10 teams had an easier go of it than Seattle has. That's where you're looking at the difference in very similar statistics. Again, we have the Rams 3rd on offense, 5th on offense for Seattle. We have the Seattle defense about 3rd and the Rams defense about 5th. So they're mirrors of each other except for strength of schedule. So let's give the Rams the edge for strength of schedule. But they're playing this one in Seattle. Home field advantage for Seattle about 1.8 to 2.1, depending who you talk to. We'll just make it 2 points. So I think that's why you're looking at the line where it is. Power rating wise, neutral field, Rams should be about a 1.5 point favorite. We add in the home field advantage for Seattle, and that's why you're looking at this betting line more or less a coin flip. I don't think that's going to change because the next key number is 3. It will not reach there in either direction. The totals dropped significantly. It's starting to creep back up because the recreational bettors are starting to get involved. But the wise guys steamed the under immediately. They steamed the under as soon as the look ahead went up at 47.5. They steamed the under 46.5 when it got adjusted. They hit the under 46 on Monday. They hit the under 44 on Tuesday. They got it down to 42.5 yesterday. This morning, we're starting to see 43 as recreational bettors. They're not as comfortable betting unders, especially in primetime games. So that'll start to balance that out. Again, this is the kind of game where if you're booking, you're in a good position. You're not going to get middled, maybe on the total, not on the side, and you're getting good two-way action from the public. Looking at the back end right now, that's exactly what I'm seeing. My boy's book right now, it's almost, he's got probably like booked about 120 something bets on it already, and he barely has a risk of a nickel on one side. So balanced action right down the middle, which for a book, you can't get better than that.
I'm planting my flag on this hill that the Seattle Seahawks are the frauds of the NFC. I don't buy this team. Yeah. Okay, listen to their last, and I get it. You have to beat who's in front of you. They can't do anything about their schedule, but they just beat Phillip Rivers. Before that, Kirk Cousins. Before that, Brosmer, and before that, Cam Ward. In the game before that, they lost to the Rams. I'm just we're top 5 offense, we're top 5 defense. Again, not their fault, but I just think these power ratings are off with Seattle. I don't think they're good, and Sam Darnold is the ultimate. It's a big game, and he threw 4 interceptions, and I say that because that's what he did against this Rams team last time they played. He threw 4 interceptions. This is an 11-3 team. I would be terrified to put my money on. So there's going to be a team that falls apart that people don't expect, and I don't know what people's expectations are of Seattle, but for me, I'm completely out.
Yeah, and what's weird, what's crazy is they are like similar except for that. Like, we all think the Rams really are legit, but is Seattle, like, even like you said with Darnold, he's top 5 in passing success rate. Like, he's actually ranked top 5 with a 51.7. Matthew Stafford's number 1 at 55.4. But in between them is like Mac Jones, Drake May, Daniel Jones. So he's like in the pack with the top 5 guys of this season. But you're saying that's strength of schedule related more than anything else. And that's going to play out. That's the beauty. That'll play out as the season progresses and they make the playoffs and the level of competition starts stepping up. We're going to find out for sure.
Yeah. I watched them struggle mightily against Philip Rivers last week, and maybe I just can't get that one image out of my head.
There's 1.5s now. I think the Rams at plus 7.5 makes a great teaser with a total that's down at 42.5, 43. I think that is a plus EV bet if you can find someone to tie it into. And right now you have like the Chargers are an option. If that doesn't move up, otherwise that's the problem. Like I'm looking for someone to tie that into, and I have to assume Detroit goes to 7.5 or 8 to make this play, or take the Chargers and hope Dallas doesn't go to like 3, which I don't think that's going to happen. So I think that may be the move, tying them in with the Chargers. We'll see.
Rob asks if there's wind in Seattle tonight. Weather is always difficult to predict
in Seattle.
up there. It's hourly. I checked it this morning. Rain throughout the day, but will be stopping before the game. Like it's supposed to stop in the mid-afternoon, late afternoon. Temperatures will be fine. So, and wind, good luck guessing the wind up in that part of the of the country.
Yeah, especially when it's gusts. But it's a good point there by the commenter too, because wind is one of the factors that actually matters. Like people blow up rain and snow and all of these weather factors way too much. The one that matters is wind. And like Andy said, even when you're trying to handicap how wind affects a stadium, sometimes there will be whirling in the south end. Does that affect what happens on the north end of the field? You know, it's a very tough thing to handicap, but wind is the number one thing that's affecting, especially when you're talking about totals, how to bet them, in my opinion.
I think wind is overrated. I think people will put way too much into wind. I don't pay attention until it's over 20. It needs to be over 20 mile an hour sustained. They always do this thing where they say it's windy, and what do? They show the flag on top of the stadium.
That's fair.
And they're like, look how windy it is. And then they cut down to the players who are just throwing. Do you know why? Because the stadiums are made of walls, and there's walls. Not like the flag way up there. You give me gusts over 35 and sustained over 20, I'm interested. And by the way, I also do you guys know this? The quarterbacks are allowed to throw spirals that cuts through said wind to the wide receivers. I think we put too much. That's an Andy Lang take for another day. All right, Yanni, let's talk about the bowl games, power rankings, Steam. What do you got for the rest of the bowls?
Well, the game today, what's funny is I have my guy does every team, and he's got Missouri State and Arkansas State one number off each other. He's got Missouri State as the 98th power rated team, and he's got Arkansas State as the 97th power rated team. And it kind of makes sense. The one has like the 110th toughest schedule. The other one has the 115th toughest schedule. And even offensively and defensively, one's like 105, the other's 110, one's 105, the other's 110 on offense and defense. So that's why it's funny. You're seeing a coin flip type of game here. But like I said, it all picks up tomorrow with Oklahoma and Alabama. Oklahoma is now the favorite. Talked about them early as that was one of the first steam moves we saw when the bowl and playoff lines went up. Immediately in the steam sheet, for those that have it, they should have already seen Oklahoma at +2, Oklahoma +1.5. They came back and hit it twice. That's why Oklahoma is now the favorite. Power rating wise, I have them one above the other. I have, ranking wise, they have one above the other. Power rating wise, that's not the case. I have Alabama as the 8th best team. I have Oklahoma as the 16th best team. So my power ratings do not reflect what the rankings reflect, but the market's moving in the direction of the rankings, not of my power ratings. I would have preferred to see Alabama move up to a 1.5, 2.5, 3-point favorite. That didn't happen, which makes it tough for me. This morning, we saw steam come in on the over at 40 and 40.5. The initial move opened at 40.5. You saw it tick down to like 40. Wasn't really getting any kind of action. That all changed this morning. Like I said, you're going to start seeing a lot of the bowl bets coming in tonight through tomorrow for the next 7-10 days. Limits start to increase. The paperheads that I deal with and the off-screen books all now up the limits, all have signs and totals, even some props. So you're going to start to see these groups firing. Pay attention to line moves over the next 24, 48 hours. You'll see a lot of the legit stuff get down, like I said this morning, with the Alabama and Oklahoma total.
It's kind of a ways out on some of these bowls. Are the sharps in the syndicate? What's their time frame on waiting for some of these? Do they have a timeline where we got to pay attention to opt-outs and who's going to play and who's not going to play, or is it different from game by game?
It changes. I've already placed so many bets, but I don't release to subscribers and piggyback more for myself until I feel confident that it's a legit move and I have an opinion on that side. That's kind of the wait and see, which is why I've had to I've already handicapped every single bowl game. I have what my power rating shows the line should be. I have everything ready to go. So as the information comes, I could fire or pass, kind of like what happened this morning with tonight's bowl game. I was like, I had an opinion on the side and the total, but no confirmation. That changed this morning. I'm ready to fire. So that's kind of how I play it. But these guys already got down. Like anyone that's got the Steam sheet, I think there's 15, 16 plus college football. And I just put the sides in there. The totals I don't put till game day because there's so much manipulation. But what happens, Andy, is then you'll see them come in on the other side. Today, perfect example, Missouri State plus 2.5. They flipped to the favorite. Today, they came in with Arkansas State without having access to good information and knowing whether it was being dummied up to get more down. It's tough for an average recreational bettor to decipher that movement. That's why I urge them not to try to figure it out, because the bowl season line movements differ. Like, we're playing with a different playing field right now. And a lot of stuff happens late that gets you guessing. Like, what's the side today, Missouri State or Arkansas State? I can tell you with certainty what side is the legit move. And that gets harder to do because these lines have been up for so long. That's the problem.
Let's move to college basketball, potentially NBA. We got a huge slate in NBA. I already saw this floating around on social media about why are the Knicks only like minus 175 money line against the Pacers. The team that has won the NBA Cup has come out flat as heck over the next couple of weeks, both times. So proceed with caution if you want to bet on the New York Knicks. So that's the story with that. But I'm going to you, Steam Report. Let's start college basketball. What are you seeing today?
Yep. I'll just read off what I put in for the Steam Report already. Early, 731 Furman minus 8.5, 722 Eastern Illinois plus 7, 747 Tennessee Martin plus 4.5, 746 Lindenwood minus 11, 752 Southern Miss minus the 12.5. In the NBA, total we got down on right away. Let me share that because it turned premium. But if you look at the betting line, it'll be hard to read it because it looks like the under got dummied down last night, and that was on Detroit, Dallas. This morning, we came in off screen and steamed the shit out of the over in Detroit, Dallas, not knowing whether it's going to cash or not, but I can tell you that's exactly what happened. And that's why my guys got down the over as their premium play in that matchup. Also, Detroit got bet at minus 5.5 and minus 6 in that game. Oklahoma City gets bet every single night. And then what happens is once it goes, the overnight gets bet up, and then they wait and they bet it back down later after the public bets Oklahoma City as well, because they're just like blindly betting them. The public just looking for reasons to bet Oklahoma City, and minus 12s, 13, 15s. That's not going to stop them. The Knicks, like you touched on, jumps out. Toronto, that's sharp, and the public's opposite. I'm seeing the public taking Milwaukee, but the sharps took Toronto. That's in multiple accounts. And the Lakers. Not sure if that's getting out ahead of the market because they also played it with the over, which seems correlated. But yeah, they got down on the Lakers and over. And finally, something that actually right now they're going to go over in Golden State and Phoenix. They sprinkled over in the overnight, and they're following through this morning. I don't really like it. But yeah, that's some of the NBA stuff already. Busy.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. We've gone long, Gianni, so we're gearing up for Football Friday tomorrow, but on this Thursday, Tell everyone what you have up.
Yeah, I got the bowl game, side and total, both 4%. That's in there, the Xbox Bowl. I got the Thursday night football package. Those primetime games have been on fire. Saturday's bowl game, Friday bowl package up. Sunday NFL going for my third straight 5% big move. That's already in there. Yeah, just a lot over there at WagerTalk. So jump on board for long term. Again, if you like money, you're already on board. Between now and the Super Bowl, it's a great opportunity to do some damage. And with the holidays up around the corner, let's fill them pockets up. Head on over to wagertalk.com. I'll try to throw in some free stuff for you too.
You love to see it, Andy. Just a beautiful thing. I mean, 20 minutes of Yanni gold. We did the Thursday night football game. He talked side and total what they bet. College football bowls, college football playoff action, college basketball, and NBA Steam. If that doesn't earn us a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe at the top of the show, all of that info. I mean, what the hell are we doing, man? What the hell are we doing?
I know.
Andy, so
yes.
So I missed you yesterday, as you well know, and also, as you well know, even though we plagiarized our Tuesday play for WTF and LFG, luckily I didn't mush Jim Root. He gave us South Carolina. They end up keeping the game close. They actually had a lead at one point. They end up, getting pulled away, but they were 12.5-point underdogs. I think they only ended up losing by a handful of points there. So that has made it, Andy, after starting 0-2, 4 straight on the WTF or LFG plays, where I give Andy one play and he says, am I tailing? Am I fading? Is this a WTF or is this an LFG? Well, Andy, in honor of going 4 straight, we finally have a graphic. Think about WTF or LFG. Are we going down in flames or are we cashing some tickets? Comment below and in the live chat what we think of our new graphic here. But Andy, what I have for you today, Thursday night football prop is what we're going with here for the WTF or LFG. I'm actually taking a look at one that just feels a little auspiciously low, and that is auspicious. I thought you would like that. And that is Sam Darnold's rushing yard total. Now, typically when I see totals for players that are low, I kind of lean towards letting the line lead the way. Like when you have a quarterback who has a half-yard rushing total, it typically means the dude ain't leaving the pocket, right? Well, Sam Darnold is sitting here at over 4.5 rush yards. This is around minus 113 is what you have to do. Yeah, he's only averaging on the season 5.5 rush yards per game, so it's right around that number. But the interesting thing when I started diving into this one is versus the division, Andy, he kind of pulls out the stops a little bit more as far as a running perspective. He's had 11 or more yards in all of the games against the division. He's played 4 so far, but 1. And the one that he didn't was when they blew out the Cardinals. So he didn't really need to expend much extra energy. And if people remember, Sam Darnold was a backup quarterback in San Fran. So I don't know if it's the familiarity with some of these teams, but when he plays the NFC West, even going back to last year, how about his average of 15 rush yards per game against the NFC West? And it's not a small sample size. You have 8 games to draw in, and he's gone over this number in all of those 8 games but 1. And that was the one I referenced earlier this season. He's also cashed in on this specific number in 2 straight weeks, Andy. It's do or die time, major game, no stops being put on Sam Darnold tonight. I'm going over 4.5 rush yards. Sam Darnold. Are we fading or are we tailing? WTF or LFG, baby?
Well, honestly, I would wait just a little bit because 3.5s are popping up. as I'm looking at my chart. So
is he going to get blown back by the wind? Is this a wind fade? The wind is going to slow him down. He won't be as aerodynamic. Is this why this number is going down?
Yeah,
good pull there, man.
That's it. I will ride on the over with this one. I love these short totals when you can get over in just one play. And the fact is, he's gone over. I think he had 11 yards against the Rams, and this is a defense that will get after him and will put pressure on him, and we just need a couple of plays where he gets outside the pocket. He's gone under in some games where, let's face it, the competition was not that great. Like, Tennessee's not putting a lot of pressure on you to flush you out of the pocket. So neither is Arizona. So you look at some of the teams that he has gone over, and it's some teams that put pressure. So I'll ride with you on this one. Also, his rush attempts have been pretty good. Even though it was with different teams, last 4 games against the Rams, he's gone over. So I think this is a LFG. I think this is a ride.
I love it. I love it. So we got the WTF, the LFG, put the check mark next to it. We got a tail here from Andy. And on the show, we'll grade it at 4.5. But like Andy said, shop around. There's 3.5s out there. Obviously, we want that lower number when we're talking about props. When it comes to props, sometimes I'll even lay more juice for the better number. A lot of the times you're saying money line versus laying 1.5, things like that. There are times when you definitely want that to go the opposite way. But for me, props, give me the best number available, even if I got to eat some chalk on it. But we will grade it here, 4.5, and we have some differing opinions. We have AWB, my lax man. Obviously, he's tailing with me, my NLL king, and SF Niner. I don't think he's ever tailed any of these, but we got a WTF.
It's always WTF,
but it's okay. It's okay. I know what people will be saying LFG for, Andy, and that's the fact that we got Steve Merrill joining the program. Steve, looking great, brother, as always. We're going to kick it off. Steve's got 2 NBA games he's going to be breaking down here for you. But, Steve, let's segue right on in here to Thursday Night Football. Now, if you're subscribed to the channel and you're a fan of the solo videos that Steve does, you would be one of over 35,000 people that have watched Steve's Thursday Night Football game video already. This dude breaks down, or this dude, which way am I pointing? The Steve Merrill guy, he breaks down every single prime game and these bowl games that you've been breaking down. Steve, people love these videos. 35,000 people, can't be wrong. We got Amazon Prime tonight. Amazon Prime. What are we betting in this one, Steve? How are you breaking this one down?
So, I try to reply to all the comments. I was laying in bed at like 1:30 a.m. Eastern last night replying to comments, and it was at 27,000 views. So we've gotten another 8,000 views in 11 hours. So we got another 8 hours to go, folks. Let's hit 40,000. That's the most ever for a Thursday night video. I don't think we've ever gotten to 40,000. So check it out after this video. And not a surprise, because the free prime. Look what you did to me, Dan. You took it out of my.
That's my fault. That's because I'm pointing
you took it from me, and now I can't say it. You got to give it back. But
Justin yelling at me saying, "Why isn't Steve on already?" I mean,
the free prime videos are 12-3, 12-3 this season. And in fact, if you really want to get technical, if you take out Dan's damn Eagles, because I think I had the over in that Friday prime game that missed, we're actually 12-2 on the Thursday prime videos for technicalities. But yeah, I think the over is the play tonight. And I mentioned this in the video, and Dan and I recorded this back on Monday, and the weather was dropping the total a little bit at that point from 46 down to 44, 44.5. And I gave a deep dive in the video why I think rain is overrated as far as totals. And then all of a sudden it's 42.5. Last night, people are asking me in the comments, is it still a play? And I was like, yes, nothing has changed. And now it's 43. Maybe we're going to see 43.5. And the reason being, I just checked the weather 2 minutes ago. It's expected to rain all day in Seattle, half an inch, and then stop this evening around 6 o'clock. So it's not going to be raining during the game, it looks like. And then the wind factor. When I did the video, I said 10 to 12 miles per hour. It's like 15 miles per hour, maybe 17 at most. That's nothing extreme. So I really think that this total has dropped for the wrong reasons. I still like the over, and I think both offenses are capable of moving the ball. Now, these are 2 very good defensive teams as well statistically. But in recent years, we see better offenses beat the good defenses. It wasn't like that back in the 90s when I started 29 and a half years ago as a full-time professional handicapper. Smash mouth football in the 80s and 90s, defenses beat offenses. But now with the high-precision passing attacks, weather being okay tonight, I think there'll be some points. And the other thing I like about the points in this game is that Seattle had a terrible offensive game 18 points. What was it? 6 field goals. I mean, what are you doing? Phillip Rivers, he's a man. He's 44, fifth oldest quarterback ever to start an NFL game, and they still barely beat him. So I look for the Seahawks offense to bounce back tonight, and wouldn't be shocked if the Ram defense is a little fatigued after that comeback high-scoring shootout against Detroit. Head coach McVay even said after the game Sunday, like, that was a physical game. And I do think the Rams are the best team in the NFL. I'm not disrespecting the Rams. They're the Super Bowl favorite for a reason. But traveling on just 3 days of rest and travel, wouldn't be surprised to see some points tonight. And the fact that this is now down to 43, which, by the way, is a semi-key number. There's some margins that can land on 43. So if you still have that 42.5, grab the over. I think this line's going to tick higher when people realize it ain't raining in Seattle tonight.
It's perfect timing because you weren't here. We talked about how we thought the weather was a little overblown.
Good
for
Good.
Tonight. So without
no
even
pun
being
intended.
Prompted.
Well done. Well done.
Well, so
the only win we won is the win to Sam Darnold's back, pushing him over 4.5 or 3.5.
So Andy, I got to give John Hugland, our great social media guy, a shout out. I'm assuming it was John. It might have been you, Dan, but I saw there was a YouTube short. They clipped my like 10-minute video, made a short out of it, and I referenced the fog bowl. I talk about the only thing that really affects scoring is wind and once a decade fog. So it's really just wind and snow. We've seen the snow games the last couple of weeks, high scoring, right? The snow and rain does not affect scoring. But John, at the very end of that little like YouTube short, put the fog ball video on. I saw that late last night. That made my night. So go check that one out too. But anybody that's under 50 might not remember. You're an Eagle fan, Dan, so of course you are.
Yeah. No, you have to know and respect the fog ball. Andy, I know that there will be no fog in these NBA games, correct? We don't have to worry about any weather affecting this doubleheader that we got for Steve.
No, but there's apparently some fog for the Orlando Magic. This team has just been decimated with injuries. No, I'm serious. Like, this poor Magic team, Steve, on paper, when all teams are healthy, this Orlando Magic team's really good, and they cannot get their guys to stay healthy. Wagner's out tonight. Suggs is out. Becerra was out earlier this year, and you're seeing it in the line here. Denver is -7, over under 237. Interested in your take here. Denver, they get bounced out of the NBA Cup, but then they play that incredible game against Houston the other night. They have been rested. It looks like they're going to have most of their guys outside of the guys that are injured, Gordon and Braun. What do you break down on this game?
Well, I mean, first of all, it's kind of like the mini All-Star break, and we're always cautious after the break when teams have been off for a little bit, and then we have that whole extra dynamic here with some of these squads. They're actually playing meaningful games into the playoff round, if you will, of the NBA Cup. So always a little tricky in that regard, but it is interesting what you say, Andy, about the injuries with Orlando, and it cracks me up because about a week ago, in fact, it was last Tuesday. It was one of the $5 Tuesday plays I released a week ago. I had the Orlando Magic last Tuesday. That would have been back on December 9th. And I always put, analysis with my plays. I always put line parameters in the plays as well. And customer support was messaging me all day saying, somebody's asking, Wagner's out. Is it still a play? I was like, well, he missed the last game and he's out tonight. Like, that's why Orlando's a home underdog. Yes, it's still a play. And then Orlando went from +1 to -1. Somebody's like, is it still a play? I was like, well, on the line parameter, it said at -1.5 or less, it's still a play. So, like, I didn't want to, get too cocky, but I knew at this point the Magic were a slam dunk lock, because when people are looking for a reason not to play one of my best bets, that's usually a good sign. And the Magic did win that game on $5 Tuesday a week ago. And by the way, that was against the Miami Heat. They won that game 117-108. They have alternated wins or losses, though, their last 5, just 2 and 3 straight up. Overall, still 5 and 3 their last 8. But yeah, this is a deep team. Yes, they're banged up, but in a game which both teams are coming off some meaningful games recently, and Denver did have that game against Houston, of course, the other night on Monday after the Cup. They did win that one by 3. That was a high-profile game against the Rockets. We talked about it here on WagerTalk Today. I think this could be a little bit of a flat spot for them because they also have the Rockets on deck this Saturday. This is a non-conference sandwich situation for the Denver Nuggets, and we don't necessarily need Orlando to win this game outright. They're catching a full 7 points right now, and I know this isn't football, but 7 is somewhat of a key number still, even in basketball, because that's where teams foul or stop fouling, is around that 7-point mark late in games. So whenever I get a dog of 7 or more that I think is capable of keeping the game close, maybe pulling the upset, they're worth a look. Yes, they're banged up, but I think the Magic are for real. And by the way, there's been some sharp money on the over in this game. open 232.5. It's up to 236.5, mostly 237s now. Does look like some sharp money was on the over. I would agree with that move. I do like the over in this game tonight between Orlando and Denver. I think there'll be some points scored at 9 o'clock Eastern.
Couldn't talk you off of that one. This is an Orlando team that was built on defense last year and not so much this year. All right, we're going to go to the Warriors and the Suns. Warriors, they just look old. Steve, they look old. They are old by NBA standards. And then you've got this Phoenix Suns team that they've been a weird surprise. Dylan Brooks he's kind of like the new Robert Horry, wherever everywhere he goes, they just kind of like win, and he just puts he's this little gnat, this like bully that gets in the head of other teams. He's hilarious to watch. I think it's hysterical. Now, I'm surprised at this line. Devin Booker is playing tonight. Phoenix has been good with Booker. Golden State's going to have their full roster. They're a very, very slight favorite here, so it's basically a pick 'em over under at 231.5. How do you see this game going?
Yeah, mostly 1.5s out there, but then you look around. I mean, DraftKings is dealing a 2.5, a little extra juice on Phoenix. One of the global books has a 2. So yeah, definitely shop around on this one, regardless of which side you like, as this line is really 1.5 to 2.5 range, even some 2s out there. So I think this is a situation, once again, with all these teams coming off the mismatch schedule the last few weeks and whatnot. I always kind of lean towards the dogs here, and I do think there's some reasons to like Phoenix as a home dog. A couple of weeks ago, if you recall, here on a Monday show, about 2 weeks ago, gave everybody the Phoenix Suns against the Lakers. That was way back on December 1st. And once again, Phoenix was shorthanded, some injuries in that game. And then I think the Lakers had some announced. Didn't matter. Phoenix went from being a big dog, like a 10-point dog, to about a 5-point dog at tip-off. They still won the game outright by 17. They've gone just 1-3 straight up since, but they've played a really tough schedule. Look at who they've played since then. In fact, even go back before that Laker game. The last 7 games the Phoenix Suns have played the Houston Rockets twice, the Lakers twice, Oklahoma City twice, and at Minnesota, which they won outright as an underdog. So they've played maybe the toughest 7-game stretch you'll see all season for any NBA squad, and I think that's made them battle test, and I think there's also some value with them because of that. And as you said, Golden State is aging. I'm not in a hurry to lay points on the road with a team that's just 3-5 straight up and just 3-5 against the spread their last 8 games. I do think Phoenix is a live dog in this one. And another game in which we've seen some money on the over-under. Open 228.5. It's up to 231, even 231.5. At 231, I think there's still some value with the over. I like the over in both games tonight. I think teams are well rested after the mini bye over the last week or so, and we're going to see some good offense in these games this evening. That one, by the way, also goes at 9 o'clock Eastern.
Do you have any, before we let you go, Steve, do you got any quick thoughts? College football playoff first round. Are there any interesting spots, games you're more interested in than others?
Well, Andy, I'm going to do a deep dive videos for all of these starting today. Actually, I'm going to record them in the next hour or so. So another reason to click subscribe, click the bell here on WagerTalk TV. As you know, I'm doing every single bowl game I've done so far this week. Got off to the perfect 4-0 start with the first 4 bowl plays. And now we have another one going tonight, by the way, the Missouri State-Arkansas State game. That free play video is up here. And once again, 4-0 so far, my first 4 bowl sides. I've given you every game. Let's see how many we can win here. Let's see if we can match that prime record, that 12-3 record. With that said, that we have 2 early games tomorrow on Friday. So I'm going to do a double video for those. And then I'm going to do a standalone video for the Alabama-Oklahoma game, the big boy game. And what jumps out to me is how bad Bama was a week or so ago in the title game against Georgia. We'll see if they can get back on track, but I do have a take on that game. And then, of course, Saturday we have 3 games, including the 2 big lines with Oregon and Mississippi. Yes, I'm in Virginia and James Madison country, but I will say this. I'll mention in the video, nobody thinks James Madison has a chance. And I don't disagree. I kind of like Oregon in the game as well. And it was 21.5. It's back to that key number of 21. But everybody I talk to is like, Steve, Oregon blows them out, right? And now, that, granted, these are people that know James Madison's a 1AA school over the years. We'll see what the nationwide public consensus is, but that's a tricky game because you got the James Madison coach leaving, you got the Tulane coach leaving, you've got the Florida coach coming in to James Madison, but so there's a lot of dynamics with these big dogs. What I will say, Andy, last year we all know the home teams did extremely well. It's a different format now. We also know those teams with the bye did not do well, but the better teams have the bye this year, so it'll be very interesting for me to see over the next few weeks if we get the same type of outcome we did last year with these teams that win in this round this weekend have the edge next week when they play the rested teams. Once again, it's not like Arizona State's getting the bye this year and some of those weaklings that had it last season.
All right, Steve Merrill, what do you have up for everyone today at Wager Talk?
We have four college football bowl best bets loaded right now for over the next week. So it's a great reason to get in early, lock in the best lines. I mentioned that 4-0 start on the sides I've given you free in the videos. Most of those moved against us because we're on the sharp side. So it's another reason to get a direct subscription. You also can get the NFL, which is number one in units won over the past year, up over 70 units in the NFL over the past year. College and pro basketball, NBA sitting over 70% this month in December. It's just a great time to be an all-sport, all-access client. Single day, weekly, monthly packages, and of course, seasonal packages and daily free plays. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com, WT.buzz/SM. But don't forget, I've got a special website right now for the lowest price I've ever offered this year on a 1-year all access for about $1 a play. And that's WT.buzz/Steve365. It's a special site. You see it on your screen. It's the only way to get the lowest price I've offered all season, get everything for about $1 a play. Go to that page. If you're ready to take a consistent investment approach, WT.buzz/Steve365 gets it done.
All right, Steve Merrill, great stuff. Can't wait to watch those free play videos. You can check all of them out here on the Wager Talk YouTube channel. Got to be subscribed. That way you get notified every time these videos come up. So really, really good stuff from Steve Merrill. Always appreciate some darts updates right after this. We'll do all around the world, but we do have one play that I love for tonight's game, Dan, Thursday Night Football. We lost by the hook in excruciating fashion on Monday Night Football, but I'm still convinced the read was right there. So I'm not deterred by our primetime run. It's 25-13 this season. So there's one best bet in that game. It is a prop, WT.buzz/AL. Back with a huge slate of NBA. We laid off last night. Glad I did. The two plays that I leaned towards wouldn't win, but we got way too many games to pass up. We got two best bets tonight, so that's going to be up at WT.buzz/AL. Really looking forward to get back into WNBA. I think it's 11-5 run before the NBA Cup, so pretty proud of that one. Quick darts update, and then we'll do all around the world. None of the main, like what I would say, guys that can push to make the Final Four have been eliminated. There have been some upsets. I don't want to nerd out, but I think it was the biggest upset in darts history. This guy was minus 3,000. He had never left the country of Africa. This was the first time he had left. He gets down 2-0, and then he comes up to win. The odds were so big live that they just took him down off the board. Like he was such a shoe-in to lose, and he comes back. The crowd went absolutely nuts. What you're seeing is outside the upset here or there, the favorites are really mopping the floor and the stage with these guys. They added more games to the first round of this tournament, so it's taking forever. Like the second round doesn't even start till like Saturday. So these guys have been they're going to be sitting for like 3 or 4 days. So there's a lot of time in between these matches, which it kind of makes it a little bit annoying, but whatever. Bets. We still have some bets pending. Be honest, I won't even check bets. I won't even check record of bets until after Christmas. So So, but it's been good. Like I said, the main guys that I would say are contenders to win have not struggled at all. So a few upsets here or there, but. All right, you ready to do all around the world? And then with the same
I'm ready to do all around the world, man. What do we got here tonight?
Well, we got to make it Rams Seahawks edition. So I'll go with Kyron Williams over 55.5 rushing. If you follow Fantasy Football Podcast, Blake Corum is this really the sleeper. He's like the sexy guy that, I'm going to pick up Blake Corum. Don't get it wrong. Kyron is the number one back there. Easy on the Blake Corum love. Kyron's gone over this total in 3 straight, 11 out of 14 games. He had 91 against Seattle this season, so I think this number is pretty low. I'm going Darnold over half an interception. He only has 1 interception in the last 4 games. We went over who their opponents were, and he threw 4 against the Rams earlier this season. It just sets up for Sam Darnold to throw a couple pretty bad ones. And then I'm a sucker for this one, Dan. This is another sexy one. It's public. Everyone that picks this one thinks they're being cute. Listen, everybody that follows the Rams and NFL knows Colby Parkinson has been catching touchdowns. It's 5 out of 6 games. He has as many receiving touchdowns as Puka Nacua. By the way, Puka Nacua, not a great week in the social media podcast realm.
Not great for him. First, he called out the refs. Then he was streaming with Aiden Ross. People were like, "What are you doing on a short week?" It's been a Been a rough week here for Puka.
Yeah, not a great look for Puka Nacua. He tried to sneak in those guys to the game, and the coach told him, "No, what are you doing?" So I'm going to keep my eye on that, Dan. Distracted professional athletes are one of the best fades. I don't like. There's something I don't like what I'm seeing about Puka here. So, yeah, and his brother just got arrested for stealing an SUV. What is going on with the Nacua family?
Going on in the Nacua household, man.
Quite the Christmas. Mom and dad are like, so how are things? All right, let's do
Andy,
same
real
game
quick. You got a same game parlay for the folks. You have one for tonight's game, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we do that, we want to embrace some debate. We love commenters, whether we're live or not here. I got hit with this one, and I've heard it before, and I have been afflicted by it as well. If folks are fans of Shrek, let me pull this up here for you. Do you see the resemblance with me and the mascot there? I think it's the fact that the hair curls. It's on the back end.
Yeah,
a little Lord Farquaad-esque. So we have a new. We have a new nickname. We got Duloc Dan for the folks here.
The hat also adds to it. Like,
yeah, I need to find a red hat. I'm gonna find one and go full Lord Farquaad one of these days. But no, full disclosure. The one time when I got my hair cut, Andy, and that's what happens. Sometimes it bunches up here at the bottom. And I was saying to my girlfriend, my now wife, I was literally like having an existential crisis in the mirror. I was like, God damn it, I look like Lord Farquaad. And she was like, you don't look like Lord Farquaad. And I pulled up a picture and she was like, shit, you kind of look like Lord Farquaad.
Okay, so
embrace the debate.
It's not that bad there, Dan, because most people are looking in the mirror like, you can make it through today. You are a winner. You can make it through today. Life could be worse. Not much worse, but life could be worse. Like, your crisis looking in the mirror is a little bit better than the average Joe.
This is why we love the comments. You never know what you're going to get here, especially once the guests are done here, Andy. But I know we're going to be getting same game parlay, and I like this one quite a bit. What do you got for the folks in tonight's game?
Yeah, and by the way, I haven't seen David in the chat. David, you won the 3-day pass, but we'll put the graphic up tomorrow when I see you in the live chat. Gotcha. But David was the one that won on Tuesday. Okay,
and for what it's worth, Andy, if he's watching but he hasn't been commenting, customer service absolutely incredible. I believe, David, they also have added it to your account already. So you can double check me if that's incorrect. But David, if you are watching, congrats. How did he win this, folks? We do some different segments where some of the cappers who come on here, if they go head-to-head with either I or Andy, we let people comment below with their WagerTalk username, and then they're entered in. If their side wins, if their capper wins the head-to-head matchup, they win a free 3-day flex pass. And we'll be doing that tomorrow with Teddy's Sell Me segment, Andy. So, you can always be winning free stuff here. You just got to be engaged and be commenting below after the video. But it's SGP time, Andy.
All right, we're going to go with Cooper Kupp, 25-plus receiving. They made a concerted effort to try and get him some catches against his old team. And we're to the point in the season where teams are just like, listen, JSN, you're not going to beat us. If you do, it's going to be because you beat double coverage or something. I think Cooper Kupp's going to be a reliable target tonight. I'm going Kyron, 50-plus rushing for the reasons before I mentioned. Like, Blake Corum's good, Kyron's still the man there, so 50-plus rushing. And then I'm going to add the alt line of the first half under 26.5. These are division rivals. These teams know each other. This was a Seattle team that struggled to score against the Colts last week. I think this is a pretty good back and forth, and trying to see both these teams get a couple touchdowns or have this be 14-14 seems like a tall order. So I'll add that, and that gets us to +2 at 26. So Kupp, 25-plus receiving. Kyron, 50-plus rushing in the first half. Alt line under 26.5 gets us to +226. So Sean wants to ask, who has the best walkout in darts? If you guys haven't watched darts, they all have walkouts.
Electric.
Some of them are laughably bad, and some of them are just insanely good. Bunting's walkout is iconic. It's just incredible. He comes out to the song Titanium, and if you know Bunting, he's this older guy. He's like 250, 300 pounds, big glasses. So him coming out to Titanium is good. My personal favorite is, I think it's Luke Humphreys. He comes out to Riot, and the cheerleaders just put a little bit of something extra into the way they dance to that song. Yes, they have cheerleaders. They dance to every song. It's easy to sing along. It's easy to dance to. That's my favorite walkout. Sadly, the number one player in the world, I think, has one of the weakest walkouts. It's a travesty. It's an absolute travesty that Luke Littler has one of the worst walkouts. It's a song nobody can get right when singing. It's kind of lame. The guy's an absolute killer, and he comes out to this. What a English guy coming out to Pitbull. Doesn't
Not
make
ideal.
any sense.
Pitbull is Mr. Worldwide. He is worldwide, so he's allowed to cross over the pond there. He's Mr. Worldwide.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. Me personally, I think it's Humphreys, but yes, I would say you pull the darts audience, and Bunting is probably the runaway clear favorite. So, all right, that's going to do it for us. We got Football Friday tomorrow, Dan. We always do our pick five. Are you using tonight's game? I am not.
Yeah, I'm not using tonight's game. If I had to pick tonight, I kind of like the Rams. I'm with you. I think that you maybe have a little bit, not full on Fugazi with the Seahawks, but there's the script out on how to beat the Seahawks, and I think the Rams have the kind of to do that. The only way I would bet it, though, you're getting 1.5. This is a great teaser leg. I'm getting 7.5 with the Rams, and
That's a good one.
I haven't decided to pair it with yet, though.
That's a good one. Yeah, I would lean that way, but as far as the actual official pick five super contest picks, not going to be official. So we will go over those tomorrow. Teddy's going to join us. We had to do Sell Me, where we'll win you guys a free 3-day pass. Marco's going to join us. He's got his breakdowns and sauce of the week. Yanni, of course, is going to do the Steam report, and then we'll get you all worked up for the weekend for these pick five. All right, guys, thank you so much. Happy Thursday. Let's have a good Thursday night. We got a bowl game. We got Thursday Night Football. We got a huge NBA slate. Good luck on all your bets. Don't forget, our best bet for tonight, Thursday Night Football, is up at wt.buzz/AL. It's a prop that I think they've royally screwed up on the line. Stunned to get it. Happy to share it with all you over there at wt.buzz/AL. Good luck on your bets tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.